Good morning to all. My name is Ian Doyle, District Governor for District 7820. Welcome to the Rotary Atlantic Conference, Growing Opportunities Together, a partnership between District 7810 and 7820. This conference involves Canada, United States, and France, a truly international event. Shortly after 7820 face-to-face district conference was canceled due to COVID-19, 7810 DG John Slip invited me to sit in on the planning of their virtual conference to take place this October. At this first meeting, John invited District 7820 to partner with 7810 on a joint event. John and his leadership team have been enthusiastic and collaborative, which bodes well for our partnership and our future amalgamation into a new district, 7815, on July 1st, 2022. The conference partnership under the chairmanship of Bob Stokes has worked cooperatively and tirelessly over the past 6 months. I hope you enjoy what we have prepared for you and find something that you can take home. Before closing, I would like to recognize the 100th year anniversary of the Sydney Rotary Club and indeed 100 years of Rotary in Cape Breton. The 100-year celebration in May was canceled because of COVID-19. Thank you, John, for your vision, cooperation, and for your friendship.
Good morning. Thank you, Ian, and welcome everyone to Rotary Atlantic 2020. Thank you to everyone for joining us today, including Rotarians from District 7810, 7820, and Rotarians from around the world. Thank you to the conference chair, Bob Stokes, and to Miriam McLeod for leading us today. It is important to me that I take this opportunity to especially recognize Rotarians from Rotary District 7820 who have gone above and beyond to make this event such a success, including District Governor Ian Doyle, Holly Thompson, Evelyn Scheller, Christine Ennis, Lorraine Ennis, and Jillian Gibson. Without your contributions, Rotary Atlantic 2020 would never have achieved the success it has. Thank you again for all you have done. In addition to the success of the conference partnership between Districts 7810 and 7820, these two districts have achieved success on another project that is the Rotary End Polio Now Tulip campaign. Thank you to Pam and Stella and to everyone involved in helping us end polio now. I know you're all anxious to learn just how successful this campaign has been, but I'm afraid you'll just have to wait and stay tuned till the end of the day when we will learn more. In the meantime, it is never too late to contribute to the campaign. Today is World Polio Day. Please visit the donation link provided with registration. Take a few seconds out of your day and help us put an end to polio once and for all. As part of the overall conference planning team, there are a number of individuals that have gone above and beyond to organize and coordinate the conference breakout sessions. There are 4 individuals in particular that have worked quietly but diligently in the background to pull these sessions together for your benefit. Please join me in expressing appreciation to Shirin Robichaud, coordinator for the Indigenous Relations session, Reverend Adekunye Adeniyi, coordinator of the Diversity breakout session, Lorraine Ennis, coordinator of the Environment breakout session, and Jillian Gibson, coordinator of the Foundation session. I hope you all enjoy and find value in these sessions. The goal for these breakout sessions is to inspire Rotarians to action in their home clubs and in their communities. Ideally, these sessions will see more clubs develop relationships with the local Indigenous communities, improve, expand diversity in their clubs and in their communities, create and implement more environmental service projects in their communities, and increase the levels of support for the Rotary Foundation. Please enjoy the day and know that we, the leadership teams of Rotary District 7810 and 7820, are very thankful for your time. We appreciate the fact that you are sharing your day with us, and we hope that you leave this conference more inspired than you have arrived. It is now my honor and privilege to introduce to you the conference chair, my good friend Bob Stokes, who has been a Rotarian for 45 years and past president of the Rotary Club of Woodstock. And Bob was my scout leader a couple of years ago and went on to become assistant commissioner in our area, and a very active and successful volunteer in our community. And Bob, thank you so much for all you've done for us. You put together a fantastic conference. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, District Governors John and Ian. I'm not sure, am I on there now?
You're
On
good,
behalf
Bob,
of,
you're good.
okay. On behalf of the entire 2020 Atlantic Virtual District Conference Planning Committee, we welcome you to your conference. This year, the Rotary Volunteer Team planned for you the first joint District 7810 and 7820 virtual conference that encompasses 3 time zones. With COVID-19 becoming a reality, original plans were canceled for both districts, and a new delivery model was created using new technology. This has been a personal pleasure to work and liaise with a truly dedicated team. It is true, Rotary opens opportunities. We are so fortunate to have conference presenters from all over the world joining us today, sharing with us their expertise and enthusiasm on how to engage Rotary in our communities. We trust you will gain from today's conference information that will inspire you and confirm your commitment to be a valued member of our worldwide organization. The power and impact of one dedicated Rotarian can improve lives and make our world a better place. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you our conference moderator, Miriam McLeod. Miriam joined her St. John's East Rotary Club in 2005. She's been very active within her club as a past president, district trainer, district secretary, and a Rotary Leadership Institute trainer. She was a group study exchange team leader to Japan. And currently she is the club foundation chair and on the district grants committee. Miriam is a valuable asset to our planning committee. For those of you who are tuned in prior to the conference, I'm sure you would agree with me that she has a very pleasant and bubbling personality, and she is extremely full of energy. I am certain she is delighted to be Zooming with Rotarians all over the world. Miriam, I will now turn this conference over to you as our moderator. Have fun, everyone. Be safe and enjoy your conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you so much. It's my honor to do our land acknowledgement. A land acknowledgement is offered to recognize Aboriginal peoples' enduring connection to their traditional territories, to recognize the history of the land that is currently shared by many peoples, and to recognize stewardship as a shared commitment of all of those who reside in a territory. The practice of territory acknowledgement is itself a replication of an Aboriginal practice which predates European contact. Between 1725 and 1779, Britain signed a series of treaties with various Mi'kmaq, Wolastoqiyik, Maliseet, Abenaki, Penobscot, and Passamaquoddy peoples living in parts of what are now the Maritimes and Gaspé region in Canada and the northeastern United States. These are commonly known as the Peace and Friendship Treaties, and contrary to some other treaties, did not include a cession of lands. We acknowledge these ancestral unceded territories. We respectfully acknowledge the island of Newfoundland as the ancestral homelands of the Mi'kmaq and Beothuk. We would also like to recognize the Inuit of Nunatsiavut, the Nunatukavut, and the Innu of Nitassinan and their ancestors as the original people of Labrador. Noel, I'd like to introduce Noel to us. He's going to give us our blessing. Elder Noel Miliea is from the Elsipogtog First Nation in New Brunswick. He worked with the Parole Board of Canada for over 18 years in the area of Aboriginal initiatives and Aboriginal offender reintegration. Noel also taught at the University of PEI for over 15 years, teaching a full semester course for fourth-year BEd students entitled Indigenous Education. Noel has developed and delivered numerous courses based on cultural diversity and awareness. He has also developed a healing model of the medicine wheel, which he has been delivering as a course to the general public as a tool to guide individuals on their journey of healing. Noel also serves as the National Elder for the Parole Board of Canada, as has presented as a keynote speaker at numerous national and international justice conferences and education conferences. Along with living a spiritual way of life, Noel is a well-respected elder in his community and is a pipe carrier sweat lodge conductor. He has lived an alcohol and drug-free life for the past 35 years. Noel Miliea is a Paul Harris Fellow. Noel, please bless this convention.
Thank you so much, everybody out there. It's always good to hear me. You guys hear me good? Awesome. Okay, so because I'm not really technology literate here, so I'm just flying by the seat of my pants here. So like I said, it's a great honor for me to be here at this conference, to be invited, and thanks to Doreen Robichaud, who invited me to participate, and it's always an honor to be a part of Rotary. In the number of talks that I've had with Rotary, it's always been a beautiful experience to be among people who are really caring, and they like to really help out in some way. So participating in this conference really is very, very helpful to everybody in passing on some of the information that's necessary. Part of the truth and reconciliation work that we do, that's been kind of like mandated almost by law, is that it's important that we recognize that before we can move towards reconciliation, our first hope is for us to be able to understand what is the truth. And sometimes in our realities, the truth becomes very, very deep and very meaningful. And for us as a people, this is probably the key cornerstones to identification of a path forward towards reconciliation. Without this missing piece of the truth, we can get really stuck really quickly in a mindset that's very prevalent to the colonization and assimilation that is ever ongoing in our mindset within mainstream society. So today, as I do the opening prayer, I'm going to ask permission from our ancestors, our loved ones. Probably I'll just give a little insight into our way of life so that we don't have a misconstruence of what it is that I'm referring to. In our way of life, native spirituality, or our way of life, it never seeks to identify the absolute truth. We're always under the impression that each and every one of us have our own truth. And it's very important that we honor and we respect that. And so as I do the opening prayer today, please be mindful that part of what I'm doing has been handed down to us from generation to generation as part of what we would consider to be our own truth. And so we want to take time and acknowledge that. Our way of life incorporates the notion that our relatives and our relations, our ancestors that are in the spirit world, for us in our way of life, the relationship has not been broken with them, but merely has moved on to another level. In other words, from a physical human relationship, it has moved on to what we would call a spiritual relationship. However, the relationship is never broken with our loved ones. And it's important that we're very mindful of that as we begin this conference, as we ask them to help us, to guide us, to bring us wisdom and knowledge so that we can serve the people that we want to serve as Rotarians all across the lands. Our mission is about service. Without guidance and direction, without wisdom and knowledge, there can be no service. And so today we ask the ancestor help us to come with us, to join us today, bring us wisdom and knowledge so we can be of better service to the people that in our areas that we're trying to help in the best way that we can. I'm going to do the opening prayer in my own language. And I also want to take the time and acknowledge one of my brothers who's a co-presenter, Graydon. He's kind of like my elder as well. And so I want to acknowledge him and his Willistagoi. I won't hold that against him, but that So I want to take the time and acknowledge that in a good way with him. So before I begin, so I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to do my the opening blessing in my own language, which is Mi'kmaq, and we'll continue on from there. Walali got me what I'm on niskam gelo na we kizigana muya. Walali got me what I'm on neck tanda gizi manjali and nigga gisku nigga akelo na we gigina muya tangis ma wafti desnan and chiganamina and kwejina. Era wachtamon nekilo oli de me desnan bazik tauju mudo nigga. Tuarvi desnan gelo ko gulusuana and suduori dan roll dia. Mogigina wala deska oli abo amwa deskan chiganam kan kwejis kito abiarju nigga. Want to origin with us and down all the nigga. Geloko Gulusuwa and answer the word Jugar with us and down all the Chamal Giganawar with us and I'm sitting Amidina nigga. And I guess you'll get Pimaji Paramutas and Lagelo Kofti and Gistavaliago. At a Wachtamun, want to order Jugar with and Chidmimajuino, Tangadwabo and Marchi. Down in Kixon Kamalamuna, A Mundiji, Mogiganawara, the Stauju Madon. Giganawis and I'm pissing out Mogiganori down all the Gelo and Givalali got me what I'm on there, nigga, Sikoi Gelo. Abon with us then, and say we can with us and get consider what it on all the Malalia, said Nogama. And that's the blessing. And along with that, maybe just to acknowledge, it's always important for me to acknowledge that our community in Elsipogtog here, which is close to 5,000, we're in a state of mourning in our community now with the loss of a very prominent individual who was chief in this community for 26 years. He passed away a few days ago, but the whole community is in a state of mourning. So just to acknowledge the solemnness of what we are going through, because that's a very important part for us to honor that. And I have to mention that today in order to honor this individual who served this community for 26 years with the utmost of respect and honor for him. Thank you.
Noel, thank you so much for setting such a beautiful tone for our convention. And I wish us all to start with absorbing the wisdom and the knowledge which you have wished to us this morning. Thank you, Noel.
Oh, it's an honor.